All right, it's about 12 midnight again, and this is Sunday, going on Monday, which means it's the 1st, I believe, August the 1st. So I went ahead and ate an orange, or 3 oranges on my way up to this point, so I could have started earlier. So, I like to get the whole hour in of recording all the way there, but for this first 10 minutes, I had to go ahead and eat some fruit. So now I will begin recording this first video, and I won't make it too long. Well, we'll see. We'll see how the walk goes. It's pretty nice out here tonight, too. It was sort of cloudy the other day. Wasn't able to see all the stars, but I can see a lot of the stars out right now. Looking pretty nice. See Scorpion. Oh, I saw Rant earlier. Oh, there's the Big Dipper. Looking nice out here. But that's not why I'm recording. Now, as I promised a lot of you, I'm showing a lot of people that I know personally and people that I'm just meeting now how to build up your online business. Now, I've been out the game for a little bit, but I know the tricks of the trade. And, of course, it's a lot of change, so I'm a pretty quick study. So I'm going to do a lot of videos showing you what I've learned from people that have been doing it since probably 2008 up to this point, so they're well established. So they are a lot of things that you might try and fail at. There's no need to, because there's people who've already gone that route, so that you can learn. Now I'll keep the phone up a little bit closer, just in case, because I heard the audio on the last couple ones, and it wasn't as clear as I would like. But check it. I started off, of course, perusing a lot of videos concerning making money online, building websites, different plugins that you can use in order to, help facilitate being an affiliate for eBay on your WordPress site and Amazon and things like that. Then, I subscribe to, and get into the punch right here, Tommy Sotomayor, a couple years back, because I heard a lot of hoopla about him. And I usually ignore, and this is me being honest, I usually ignore a lot of things that seems like the mainstream are interested in, especially, this is where I get a little controversial myself, especially in the so-called Black American community. If they flock to it, I'm probably going to shy away from it. Because unfortunately, at this particular age and time, we gravitate to the most base and ridiculous things. The things that are so-called lame are the things that I'm into. Knowledge, speaking different languages, things like that. And I subscribe to and see as my kith and kin other Black folks who do those things that I like. You know what I'm saying? And I can, every now and then, take a sneak peek at what's going on. Like, I even watched, Empire. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I wouldn't watch it at first because all Black folks wanted to watch it. You know what I'm saying? I saw the hip-hop stuff, and I saw a lot of hyper so-called homosexual behavior in it. And I already know the history of one of the producers, and I understand his agenda on injecting the Black community with the homosexual agenda. That's, well documented, and I don't have to be a conspiracy theorist with this because he said it. He tells you what he's about. And that's a whole nother video, but check it. I heard a lot of people complaining. There's this guy, you ever heard of Tommy? You ever watch Tommy? And it was always funny to me because the people that said they hated this guy so much, they can tell me every single video he put up. See, if I don't like you, I don't know much about you because I'm not going to be subscribing, I'm not going to be watching, and I'm not going to listen to any gossip about you. That's me. But all these black women, oh, this dude Tommy, he's a punk. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he talk down to black women and all this type of stuff. And I was like, huh. Because I know they're talking about YouTube. They're not talking about like a real news outlet. They're talking about something you can click off of whenever you feel like. Somebody at their house and have with a webcam. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, is he getting sponsored by CNN or something? I mean, that's the only time we can really call conspiracy. You know, when somebody's pushing big money behind them, like you got chump change money that people can, you know, throw in and say, yeah, I like you. You know, Bill Duke and people like that. Who cares? So at one point, I was like, all right, let me go and click on. Let me just see what this guy's talking about. And it looked like he had like some type of news channel. And then he had another one, Mr. Tommy Sotomayor or something, then My World, Your Views, or My Views, Your World, or something like that. And it seemed like he had a couple of them. And I started, it only takes one day to really figure out a person's perspective. So, you know, after a while, I saw, okay, he's making a lot of money over the most base aspects of the black community. They, by and large, do not represent the majority of black folks, just like every black person in the black community is not selling drugs and doing drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it's done so much that it does have to be addressed. Not every black person has a weapon, you know what I'm saying, has even shot a weapon. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is the image is promoted in such a way by which there's a lot of people who would like to dress up and tattoo themselves just like what they see in the movies and in the songs, that it makes it sort of believable. So there's so much that's done that sells the lie, if you will. And that's, you know, of course, going back to Jehudi, you know, talking about free will. That was something that at first I was like, you know, I was one of the biggest proponents too. I was on that bandwagon in the so-called black conscious community who was always talking about the hidden persuaders, always talking about mass media indoctrination. Then it got to a certain point where I saw it was a little bit hypocritical to, on one hand, break down all the scientific facts concerning what's going on to the black community. You know, you got whole nations who grouped together to make sure Africa was brought down. This is a fact. There's no excuse. I don't give excuses. I look at it as we're the most hated and most imitated, but that just comes with the territory of being the first person on the planet. You know what I'm saying? We aren't as young as people present us. We're actually very ancient, and we're supposed to know better. If you the big brother, somebody keep walking behind you, pulling your pants down, kicking you in your butt, you're supposed to be old enough to deal with that. You don't get the consideration to act like you're new. You know what I'm saying? So when we sitting back, see what the cops are doing to us. See, you fell for the okie doke though. You can't point at the cops and see what they're doing to us, then at the same time love violence. You see what I'm saying? White folks can get away with it, and yes, these are one of those videos a lot of people just don't get, but I don't mind talking about what people really don't want to talk about. Just because you interact with white people, Asians, I interact with everybody on the planet because I am an international being. I'm an interplanetary being. But that doesn't mean I have to cower when it's time to speak on these subjects either. I speak openly when most black Americans cower in the corners. They say, oh man, white folks going to hear you talking about that. I'm like, I'm talking to them. I'm having a nice conversation, and I always bring this up. I was talking at one of the universities I went to, and a white person was like, what do you think about dating white women? Larry, it was a white woman that asked me. And I was like, well, for me, I really don't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's to each his own. It's just for me, I've grown so much in the understanding of who I am, what I am, and what I represent that it just wouldn't make any sense for me. You know what I'm saying? There's no hate that I have to throw out there. It's just the fact of the matter. It's no different for me why I would never date another dude. If you do that, that's on you. But for my paradigm, it's just never going to happen. It's detrimental to my way of being. You know what I'm saying? If you fall and align yourself to something diametrically opposite to me, well, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? What's good for me is going to be bad for you. And what's good for you is going to be bad for me. And those are the conversations that most people don't want to talk about. It's just fun to say, well, what's good for everybody is good for everybody. That makes no logical sense. It makes no mathematical sense. It makes no legal sense. You feel me? So what's good for a criminal is good for everybody? Of course not. I think you know better than that. So, going back to what I'm talking about, this guy's videos. Let me digress for a second. Go back to Tommy Sotomayor. I was like, okay, that's how he's getting a lot of hits. He wouldn't be getting these hits if he was talking about the most positive aspects of the black community. He just wouldn't. It's very difficult to do that without talking about the racial relations between blacks and whites. And you have to do it more flamboyantly than, hey, here's this report card of all this. If you really look at the numbers, there are more black men in college than in jail. This is a fact. And it is. But you won't get many hits. And this is not something that, and once again, that's my own evolution, my own knowledge, my own education, and me just being a grown man in the situation of what black consciousness is for me. I used to hear Jehudi talk about free will and people not being, what would he say? Not being skillful, in so many words, not having the skill to be able to travel through the matrix. And I'm like, well, you know what? And I do understand all the things that are happening in the black community. See, people like to forget that, yes, we did find out, and we do have a paper trail showing that, yes, and it went all the way up to the presidential office. It's just Oliver North and some other people had to, get spanked a little bit so it don't go up too high, and that's right around the time that Ronald Reagan lost his memory. But we saw that, the federal government was complicit. And not only the selling and buying of weapons and getting monies to, further different war games going on in South America. And it still was actually connected to things going on in the Middle East and the opium trade. But there was a lot of cocaine that was allowed to come into the country and go right into the neighborhoods of black people. Yes, we can see evidence. It's very well documented about the Tuskegee experiment. And this is my phone ringing, my other phone. I got 3 phones with me to record on, but I'll just let that ring so I can keep this going. I can go down a list of things that we know for sure that are so deep, demonic, and detrimental to any community. If it happened to anybody outside of the black community, they probably wouldn't exist. And that even includes my brothers and sisters, the indigenous brothers and sisters that we know as the Native Americans, who they understand what I mean when we speak on, hold
on. Let me cross the street here without getting hit. When I speak on the horrendous acts enacted upon a people, they understand it, and it's just that now in this country, it's okay to talk about that now. See, that's the funny thing about these conversations. When it makes the mainstream, and see, we got to use terms like that, and I just say white people, we know who the mainstream is. It makes white people uncomfortable to talk about what y'all call slavery. I don't call it slavery because my ancestors, many of them who weren't already indigenous here, and I'm not talking about we got Indian in the family, I'm talking about black folks, we were around the whole planet. And I'm not even talking about the Moorish theory. I'm not even talking about the Hebrew Israelite theory. I'm talking about straight up Ivan Van Sertima historical fact. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about different religions concocted around history. I'm talking about real historical fact. You know what I'm saying? We've been here. You know what I'm saying? We perused this place and come back and forth and traded with our indigenous brothers over here for a long time. A lot of us just stayed. That's just how it goes. I mean, it's no biggie for me. I don't mind talking about it, but the whites, or the ones we call the whites, the Europeans, Americans, it makes them feel uncomfortable because if you talk about it too long, there's a slippery slope that's going to happen where you have to sort of talk about how this country was built. You have to sort of talk about what's really going on in Europe when Spain, what made Spain great? What made France great? What made the whole United Kingdom, where was the resources coming from? It wasn't there, right? I went to school. I studied the Industrial Revolution and things like that. They had coal. Coal was there, but no gold, diamonds, not as much iron ore, you know what I'm saying? And even how to use it, you had to go to Africa where they was already smelting different ores, and they had a Bronze Age way before, you know what I'm saying? Before there was any houses even built in Europe. Now, these are facts. It's okay for me to talk about because look at where we are as black people. That's what I'm getting at. When I speak on these things, why can't I? We're not right there right now. We're not building pyramids right now. You know how long ago that was? We're so far removed from that. It's pathetic. So why can't we talk about it now? You guys won this part of the game. It shouldn't be a game anyway. Every human with good sense, if they had any sense, would be working together to make sure that we're ready to stay on this planet no matter what. Because there's always something that can come and wipe out human life at any time. Your little buildings, your little hospitals, your little police stations, it can't compete with natural destruction. You feel me? That's why I have to say that because I know a lot of people start getting turned off. Oh, it's that black thing. It's funny because you're not supposed to talk about it. But now Europeans can go to a powwow, you know what I'm saying, put on some feathers and be disrespectful dancing in circles and stuff looking crazy because it's cute. It's okay to say, oh, you know, my grandmother's Indian. And she was a raped African. But they have to lie and say, see, it's okay. See, people want to forget. And this is going into what I'm talking about. But just bear with me for a second. There's times that you have to talk about certain things. And when you talk about it a little bit too early, it's like trying to make fun of someone who just passed away. It makes people feel a little bit uncomfortable. Like, why are you talking about that right now? I don't think I'm going to laugh at that because it's out of place. You shouldn't be talking about that right now. You know, I'm going to shy away from you. The person just passed away. The family might be listening. I'm not going to laugh. And that part I get. But the topics that European Americans shy away from, and they use power and influence and treachery to make sure you do not engage in certain conversations. They will remind you you'll lose your job, you'll go to jail, you might even have physical harm, you know what I'm saying, put on you. And that's just how it is. So that being the case, now when they're not afraid of the indigenous man and woman, it's okay to say, you know, I'm actually related to them. I mean, I want y'all to think about it. How many are saying, yeah, my great-grandfather was black? Nobody's saying that unless there's somebody famous that they can point to, you know what I'm saying? And even then, you're not going to hear it. I got to really think about that. They can't be that famous unless it's somebody famous right now. It can't even be somebody, you're not even hear white folks saying, well, you know, Thurgood Marshall was my great-great-grandfather. You know what I'm saying? One of our cousins, stuff like that. And if they did tell you that, they won't be putting it on Facebook and doing shows about it. You would have to be like related to Obama right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, we actually are related to Obama. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with his philosophies and politics, but yeah, he's one of our second cousins. They'll say that because it's okay right now. There's a litmus test, and there's certain things, certain checks and keys they have to turn to see if it's okay to talk about certain things. Now, putting that out there, because and it's silly to have to talk like this before even going right into the subject, because so many people will turn off because it's not fun. See, I'm supposed to just jump right on and just go and burn Tommy Sotomayor and effigy immediately, which I would get to that. But I like people to know my true stance. What makes a black male, because there's certain things you have to do to be a black man. Not every, wow, shooting star. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Excuse me, because I am a very spiritual brother, and I'm a native brother. I'm an African brother and a native to here brother. And since that just happened, and you guys I'm having to be recording, I'm going to let you guys know what's really going on in my mind while I'm talking to you, and why it seems like I'm jumping around on a tangent. I'm walking in DeKalb, Illinois. This is one of the so-called cities in the Americas that was a sundown city. Anybody who knows what that is. That means historically here, if you were black and you were in this town, you better have your black ass out by sundown. Now, this is historic. If you talk to people who live here, they'll tell you, yeah, this was the sundown. You know, this is embarrassing, but yeah, this is the sundown town. That's where I'm at right now, DeKalb, Illinois. And I was just walking about 5 minutes ago. Anybody who knows DeKalb, I'm walking up, this is Bethany Avenue, by where the cops sit out. And it just so happened I'm talking about this subject. And to be very honest with you, before I even started recording, I had a vision of 3 white guys in the truck shooting at me. And this is totally honest. Shooting at me, and they sick this. That's just the weird dreams I have. They sick this like mountain lion on me, some type of cougar or something. And I called it in because as I was walking across the field of the grade school by where I stay, I imagined, my hurt back, and I was like, man, I think I can get up on top of that, because I'm imagining something crazy happening to me, and I imagine jumping on top of the monkey bars, whatever that thing is, the sliding board. And they were shooting at me, and they were mad because I was handling that cat. You know what I'm saying? I poked his eyes out, but I called 911, and they knew the guys. And she was basically saying she wasn't going to send any help because, she felt like it's a prank, even though she knew what they were doing. She knew what they do. So I was like, all right, I'll be handling you after I handle these, over here. That's the weird stuff. Right before I started recording. And that's why I started recording. I finished eating my oranges because I wanted to calm down. But just a second ago, while I was just talking to you guys now, anybody who knows there, I'm passing the spot by that little park over there where the cops stayed, and hide to give you tickets, catch you speeding, coming up Bethany, right before you get to YMCA. Now, of course, he's in this car, and they got to keep the lights on a little bit. I could see his interior lights were on, and I looked over, and I just got that feeling. And this is, it just happened. This is what's happening right now. While I'm talking to you about this subject, I looked over there, and I had that feeling that I was about to get fucked with. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because I'm on the phone is the only reason why they didn't fuck with me. Because I just felt it. Because it's 12 o'clock right now. It might be like 12:30 in the morning. So that's why I'm glad I am recording. So if something did happen, that's why I keep looking behind me. You know what I'm saying? Because we can't just walk outside like the white American. See, this is very tangent to this conversation. This is happening right now. I look like I shouldn't belong. I got some basketball shorts on, tennis shoes, same, black shirt I like to record in. It's like a uniform for me when I'm making my recordings and stuff like that on video. Talking on the phone. No weapons on me. It's two cell phones in this white pocket and a wallet, and I think I got a face towel and the bag that the oranges used to be in my left pocket. And I'm talking into a phone. So when I looked over there, it looked like he was about to start the car because I could see his interior lights went off right away. You know how it is when you're about to start the car, and his lights, he had his parking lights on, and they all went dim. Everything went dim, like he just started his car back up or something. And I'm like, there's no cars that was going by at that time. So I'm like, here we go. And it puts you in that mindset, and all of the people, Alden Sterling, what's the brother Castile, and I was even thinking of the sister and stuff, Bland, who's just killed in her cell. And immediately I'm put at alert. Because in my mind, I'm like, this is it. And I was thinking about my phone was ringing, my ex, my baby's mom, baby mama. Now my ex-wife was just calling. She knew I was walking. I told her I just walk. I was going to use the ride to drive up here, but this helps my back out a little bit. Even though it hurts, I need to stretch a little bit. I need to get that movement. And then too, just the overall walking is getting your body in condition, and all that. But right that second, I was like, damn, I fucked up. Just keep it real with you. I tripped. I ain't got no business being out here. Walking this late. The only people that can do that, you got to be white. I'm just keeping it real. Like right now, looking at this guy. Looks like he might be 50 years old on a bike. Just chilling, you know what I'm saying? An old white woman can walk her dog out at this time, and this guy's like in our neighborhood, they're white, always walking their dogs, and women walking their dogs. I mean, 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. And me just walking, that I just know I'm not supposed to be doing it. Ain't that something? That's racism. That's power. There's enough that's done, even though people don't talk about it. That's the game. We're not supposed to talk about it. But every black person knows when that car pulls up on you. Like right now, I'm looking behind, just waiting. Because he probably like looking, pulled up enough to see, okay, he's still walking down the street. Where the hell is he going? We're just not supposed to be that damn free. Now, we could play the game. Well, you guys usually committing crime. No. Let's keep it real. 80% of all the crime in this country is committed by Europeans. There's not enough black people to commit all the damn crime. If every single black person, even little infants, even black folks that were just born today, committed crimes, violent crimes too, and are suspicious, it still wouldn't be enough. There's not enough of us here. Not in this country. This ain't Brazil. If you said Brazil, then I'd be like, okay, I see what you're saying. It's like, what, 350 million black folks there. There's just 35 million here out of 350 people. 350 million, I believe. I forget what the census is here. But it puts you in a panic state. And for me, it's that fight or flight. Because my thing is, you're not gonna just sit up and kill me and choke me out. I'm not going out like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be the DVD guy getting shot. I'm not gonna be in a car with my fiance and my baby girl. The second you pull a gun out and point it in the car with my children, dude, we're not doing that. No, I'm not moving. And I told many of them that because that's a trick. No, I'm not moving. Oh, you got your license registration? And I point, because there's always two of them. There's one on the passenger side, shining a light in your face, and one, to distract you, right by the driver's side. And I always say, it's right over there in the glove compartment. Can you get it? I say, no. I said, I don't got no guns. My wife probably got a lot of trash in there. It's going to take me a while to find it, but your partner over there, he can reach in and get it. Well, we can't do that. Well, I'm not reaching over there. Because they say, why? I said, because you got your hand on your gun, number one. And see, now, on one hand, if they are really honest, some inside them supposed to be like, okay, I see what you're saying. But if they're not, if they already have a certain idea about you, they're thinking, oh, it's a trick. He doesn't want us to have our hand on our gun so he can give us the slip. He's going to put the car and drive and, whatever. You know what I'm saying? For a traffic stop. That's number one. You don't see no guns. You don't smell no smoke. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do none of that shit. I drink a Long Island iced tea every now and then and a mojito. But I don't like smoke. So I'm not smoking no cigarettes, no herb, nada. You're not dealing with that type of black man. So a lot of times we see, and this wasn't even supposed to be what this video was about. But when he was over there on that side right there about to do whatever, it puts me in that, like even this guy on the bike, he came back to sort of see who I was. How did I know that? Because he stopped his damn bike across the street and was listening to my conversation. See, we don't get that ability to just be free. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing about me that looks like I'm about to harm anybody. I'm a black dude walking to the damn gym. But let me go back to Tommy Sotomayor. That's pissing me off. Okay, so, but I had to catch y'all up on what was going on behind the scenes because it's very relevant to what I'm talking about. So I listened to this guy for a while. On one hand, I happened to be listening and tuning in to one of his videos when he said something very important. He was a rant responding to black women talking about you using these videos to make us look bad, which he is. And he said, you know what? I started doing these because I saw all the hate. I'm a victim of black women hating black men. And, he went on his little rant. And he said, if y'all weren't really doing this stuff, I would have nothing to talk about. But I have a plethora of videos showing what y'all do. And there's even black females that's listening and watching, even the ones that hate me. Y'all still listening and watching and responding and commenting. I get people who love me, listening all day, and I get people who hate me listening all day. And I'm like, okay, he got some points. And I didn't, because I don't really watch that crap, I didn't know there were so many videos out there showing this degradation. It was ridiculous, a lot of stuff I saw. Now, I remember, I'm not going to say I'm unfamiliar with the bootleg game. I've seen a lot of those videos like hood fights, beef, and all that type of stuff. That was the first time I really saw a lot of that crap because I don't look for it, so I don't find it. So I saw a lot of them. One day I just sat and watched one. It was just constant fights, hood fights. And that's a martial artist. And right now, since I'm out of the game, I don't walk the walk as a master like I used to. So I'm just going to I call myself a martial arts fan. As a fan of the martial arts, I used to study and watch people who can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Males fighting like you would see females, where you like close your eyes and just swing your arms and put your head down. Then dudes fighting just like that. I'm watching pants sagging, tripping over each other, and I mean just ridiculousness. And I'm like, ugh, we look silly out here. They perpetuating the nonsense. And he was right. The one part he is right about, I have to look at the free will aspect of the fact that when those things are going on, number one is black males, not men, black males recording that crap, who will give the women a knife, egg them on, push them into each other. And the same thing when two dudes fight. They do the same thing like little children. And they can care less if somebody get killed or whatever. This is not even a regular childishness. It's something demonic. See, when children do stuff, what's coming out of their mouths aren't the same as what's coming out when somebody's so-called demonically possessed. Now, I'm not one of them cats. I'm not into, you know what I'm saying? I'm a historian. I like to do my research. So when I'm saying that, don't mistake me for a diehard so-called Christian, because I understand the concept of Christianity going back to the Coptic Church, going back to Indus Kush, the Kharast, you know what I'm saying, well, the Krishna, all the way back to Kharast. You know what I'm saying? So I have an understanding that. So when I say demonic and devilish, these so-called spirits coming from the word breath or air, it's a vibration that was given to these individuals. And the heart program, if I can use that term, there's not the heart program that's influencing weather, but there's a different type of heart program that ignites and invigorates and vibrates certain animalistic movements in people, if you feel what I'm saying. That's what animate means. It means to move. That's what a persona is. Per meaning through sound. It's a face. It's a mask that is put on these people to do the most ridiculous crap. And until you start understanding, like when people say the media, it sounds like that's a lie. It sounds like so-called conspiracy theory, but it's really just a conspiracy. There's no theory because there's facts behind it. There is a mechanism. Now, this is what I stated in the beginning, but I had to say all this because most people just don't freaking get it. There are zillions of videos like this, so I try to come a little bit different. I know I have to chop at your belief system first. Otherwise, I'll be wasting my damn time, and I don't like doing that. There is a system here. And I heard Tommy Sotomayor say that in a video just tonight. He was incorrect. Because somebody was like, well, you know, they trying to eradicate us. And he was like, no, they need us. I said, uh-oh, this Negro's incorrect. He hasn't done his research. See, that when you start putting money in certain Negroes' pockets, they begin to feel needed. No, they need certain Negroes. Like I was trying to tell you before, as long as they don't feel uncomfortable, they're fine. Who is they? The mainstream European Americans. That's why you can't do a movie. See, if you're going to do a movie, it better be a slave movie because that makes Europeans feel good. Amistad, the real Amistad, they can't do. Like, you remember that one scene where they fought and took over that ship That was enough. That was too much right there. The whole rest of that 3-hour movie was Anthony Hopkins sleep, nodding off, and that's why everybody else is nodding off. They have to do that because when you control the screen, you control what's put on it. But then you can revel in the belief and lie that this is just what it is. See, the decadent, stupid stuff that we as black people listen to, and I got to keep it real, once again, controversy, that crap that we call rap and hip-hop. Gotta say it, black people. R&B, gotta say it. If you're not talking about uplifting the community, uplifting the black family, and I'm even talking about your gospel music also. If you can't in one song in so-called gospel music say, God bless the black family. I'm not saying nobody's ever done it, but those aren't the songs that I hear when I go to church. I hear King Jesus. I don't need my mama. I don't need my daddy. I don't need my son. I don't need my daughter. I don't need my husband. I don't need nobody, just King Jesus. And that ain't nowhere in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? There's that idea nowhere in the Bible. And if it is, Paul wrote that. Jesus would never say no crap like that. Jesus is like, I'm not your daddy. I'm trying to tell you about my daddy. How am I your daddy? You supposed to be my brother and my sister. You know what I'm saying? He was married, so he ain't trying to be your wife either. I digress just a second. So, if you're not talking about, even when we used to break dance and stuff like that, that was when somebody who saw the violence in us said, you know what, we're not going to fight. We're going to dash this out. I respect that. Because then we still are very peaceful people, and we still have a warrior side also that needs to be respected. And some entities came in and just twisted that crap up. We didn't used to just kill each other for no reason. It made no sense to do that. There was no need to do that. But there was no block to fight over because there was no block that was worth $1 million. You know what I'm saying? When people were hungry. So the so-called hip-hop, so when I hear people say, and I got to tackle this, like this has got to be said because it's very key to what I'm talking about. It's stuff that you think a lot of people probably thought I was going to just talk about stuff that white people don't want to talk about. I talk about stuff that the black people don't want to talk about either. That's the controversy. The so-called black music is not black music. It's controlled by very small stature European so-called Jews. Not Hebrew-speaking, Yiddish-speaking so-called Jews. Now, once again, right when I say that's supposed to be this, your mind goes into, oh, he must be Nation of Islam, or he's supposed to be, hate all the Jews. No, I say so-called Jews. I've done my research because I was curious growing up. I said, why the hell is some of the Jews? Who are the Jews? Who are the Jews? So I looked it up. I said, oh, okay. There is this little cabal unit, Zionistic unit, you know what I'm saying, that wants to control everything and that will go into your society and totally disrupt everything. The smallest, the most minute minority will totally destroy your whole system, your banking system. Now, I ain't talking about people, Jewish friends I have that you might have. I'm talking about people with real damn power. Not the broke-ass people you know with a so-called Jewish last name. Just because your name gold stay, don't mean you got the gold. But somebody from the sect that you come from monopolized that and took all that. That's why they named themselves after the silver, gold, and things like that. It's deeper than people don't want to see. You're not supposed to talk about that. You're not supposed to talk about the Money Masters. That's a white guy put that out there. The Money Masters is probably one of the most thorough documentaries you can see on what money is and how it works. and you get an idea of what fiat currency is all about. How you doing? And once again, stay with me. This is very connected to everything I'm talking about. The black man, the reason why, as I'm walking down the street like that, there was just a white lady that was passed. Now I'm on the main street. She got to be like down there 70. She looked like she's 70. Probably 60 something, but she looked like she's 70. Free as a bird. But the reason why the caricature of the black man is violent, just saw a video about that. This cop talking to this black woman. He slammed this black teacher. Well, you guys look violent. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a history of propensity for violence, and, you know, he's breaking it down. Now, here's the media thing. What does media mean? You have to understand it's just a medium, and media is just like water. It's just like this air. It's what stands in between me and you. It's what vibrates in order for messages to be sent from me to you and back and forth. That's what media is. That's what the medium are. That's what medium is and what media are. I forget which, I don't speak Greek or Latin. But the so-called black music is not controlled by black people. So even though I was raised in it, came out of high school in 91, Tupacalypse Now was one of my favorite albums. May he rest in peace, good friend of mine, Patrick Rush, was the first person, I think we must have been in 7th or 8th grade. That shows you how far NWA goes back. Dude's old as the mud. But he let me listen to a couple of cassettes. I would never hear it in my house. But his people, in the music business, DJs and stuff like that, so he gonna get his hands on some stuff. And it was an NWA song. And I heard Eazy-E's voice, and it sounded like a robot. It was something about his cadence and the tone of his voice that I was listening to it, trying to put. I was good at listening to where people are from, and I never heard that type of voice before. And I was like, huh. And he pressed play, and I really wasn't hearing what the guy was saying until he said, "Reach back like a pimp, slap the hoe." The bitch said something that I couldn't believe, so I grabbed the stupid bitch by a basket-ass weave. And he was just saying this crazy stuff. Oh, what is this? But it was over the beats of a lot of the music that I grew up to. My father was a very big fan of that 70s music and those beats. So I heard a lot of Curtis Mayfield and stuff like that every day, hanging with my father. So I heard all these beats that I recognized, and I was like, wow, that's ingenious. But the lyrics were so outrageous. Of course, as a child, I was like, oh, wow. I gravitated to it. And I was like, man, can I see that? Went back home, assimilated a lot of it. I was like, wow, they talking about a lot of crazy stuff. Now, this is me keeping it real. So when the movie came out, NWA, everybody go, oh, yeah, fuck that stupid shit. That's me. I might have to start a new channel just so I can rant and talk about real shit. That shit is whack. Let's keep the shit real. The whole album wasn't about fucking express yourself. Now, yeah, I'm throwing out the F-bombs now. Oh my God. I can't put this on here with all my health stuff. But yo, I'm keeping this shit real for you now. And then I'm gonna go back into the Tommy Sotomayor, because you have to understand how an entity like that is created and how to really look at it. And it's not as simple as jumping on the bandwagon. He's a coon, he's a fag, and all this type of stuff. He could be all those things. But what is the system that sets up a person who is all the things that you're saying, how does he make money then? You see what I'm saying? Is it really just Ku Klux Klan members financing it? Most of the people I see supporting are black. Everybody ranting is either people talking about them. That means you ain't got shit to do. So when people talk about the haters, that's you. And I'm talking about even if you have a good reason. Your ass is up. When he goes on live, they bam, jump on there. He's a fag. He's a coon. No, hey, why? How come he ain't talking about this? Dude, I'm watching this stream of people spitting out venom to somebody they say they don't like. Dude, the only way you know he just went live, your ass is subscribed. Right? Unless there's something else about YouTube I just don't know about, could be. All these females, he can't stand black women, all this type of stuff. Dude, make a video like I'm doing. Do, you know what I'm saying? Put your ideas out and speak civilly with other people who might agree with you. I'm not going to be making no fake videos and doing some animation and all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? When people get that much, and see, like my station, I don't have that many views right now. But even when I do, see, I might not even address it then. I'm addressing it now because I keep hearing about it, and people personally, what do you think about this guy? Because they know me as a conscious black man. What do you think about this guy? He's just talking about this type of stuff, and I look at it from all sides. He's getting paid because people gravitate to negative shit. And I will quote Jehudi again, and I'm bringing up Jehudi in this conversation too, because at one point, it seemed like they were going to do like a tour. The problem was most of the conscious brothers, and I'm going to throw it out here, they're right. If you are conscious, like even a brother, what's the brother, Lennon Honor, and there's a couple other people who, when you listen to them, they're talking about black family, the black woman, and they're not just saying it like everybody, is automatically a king or queen. Lennon Honor, and I only heard them through Jehudi, you know what I'm saying? And I started listening. I was like, this brother, very positive, very clean cut, you know what I'm saying, with his speech, and very concise about what he's talking about. And he can be very real, and, there's a term real, but he can use, what we call profanity. When I looked it up as a child, it's deep in meaning, deep in feeling, like profound, profanity, deep in feeling, deep in meaning. That's all it means. But he, very good brother, very clean. You can see the children walking around, the wife walking around, very family-oriented, talking about relationships and what black men's roles are and what the black women's roles are. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful family. He's just doing his thing. And I was like, oh, man, I'm a fan. I haven't listened to him in a while. I've just been busy. But I keep him, I'm saying? I'm subscribed so I can go back and, one day just sit and just binge on a lot of his videos because he has some good stuff. So I can see why a person who works hard to keep a certain image of cleanliness, of familyhood, and of a black man being the protector, the keeper of the flame for the black community, you don't want to be sitting down with somebody that causes so much controversy and who gets money, power, and fame from degrading black women. And yes, that's what Sotomayor does. Now I heard him say he's from Panama, but I never heard him speak Spanish, and I get that. But the thing is, I went ahead and I did a little research tonight, and he was caught up in some lies. Because I was watching during that time when he connected with Jehudi. So I was like, this dude might be cool. You know what I'm saying? And Jehudi was answering questions, because people are like, Jehudi, you going to really ride with this coon like that? He was like, man, I'm about free will. And he, I understand a lot of stuff he's saying. And I think everybody has a right to talk. If you got a problem with him, call into the show. He was very real about that. But I think it got so overwhelming that it would have messed with the ticket sales and everything. You know, people vote with the dollars, which is how we're supposed to do that stuff anyway. So, that being said, that's about the time I was really like researching. I was like, okay, he must be up there. He got the ear of Jehudi, you know what I'm saying? I'm following Jehudi, you know what I'm saying? This dude, I would love to see this because I would like to see the comments, you know what I'm saying? The commentary that's going to follow this tour that they were going to do. It's like a black man tour. And my thing was that would have been cool because he's diametrically opposite to a lot of those guys. It would have been interesting to see that particular point of view. But it never happened. You know what I'm saying? But as I was looking tonight, I saw there's a brother, I can't think of his name, Black. What does he call himself? It looked like it's not Huey Newton. It's on his page, but Stokely Carmichael, somebody. I can't think of it. I just only heard him today. I think I've seen his name before, but my first time really clicking on it. But Black something, I don't know. But he has like a Black Panther on his profile pic. And he put out a video basically just exposing Tommy, you know what I'm saying, with his government name. And showing how he flip-flops a lot. And I remember, see, I haven't been listening for that long, but the videos he put up, I remembered them. Because, you know, when I went to, I must have come in when he was fronting a little bit. Because he was talking about, like, the, you know, Black Father Initiative, and people were putting out, you know, he was commenting on people that were trying to put his daughters, you know, out there and trying to say he should not be around his children. I mean, it's this, I'm like, oh, man, this is crazy. These people are not crazy. Mess with this man and his children. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing a documentary on the Black fatherhood and the struggles of the Black father. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I don't see nothing wrong with that. You know, behind him on the wall, I can see where he says, like where they say Black girls rock, he got Black boys rock. And I'm like, I'm feeling that because we do get forgotten. You know what I'm saying? On one hand, we the cause of all the ills in the Black community, but those of us who fight hard to do the best for the Black woman, we the ones who usually get shit out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gives a damn. You're supposed to do that stuff, Negro. But the Black female, they usually get praised for shit that they supposed to just do. You know what I'm saying? And then in terms of papel, or the role that the Black man has, Black women love to get up in the Black man's face and say what we supposed to be doing. And then I used to ask the women I was with, you know what? Nobody ever told y'all what y'all role is, though. See, they can pinpoint and say concretely what the hell we supposed to do. Y'all supposed to pay the bills. You're supposed to protect the house. I mean, they can say concrete things. I say, now, what's your responsibility? Oh, we the nurturers. It gets all airy-fairy and intangible all of a sudden. We the nurturers. Our job is to nurture. I was like, I don't need you for that. You know what I'm saying? I need you to cook something, you know, come home and clean, because I don't mind cooking. My thing is, I don't want to be the only one cooking. I don't mind cleaning. I don't want to be the only man cleaning. Then I'm coming home from work, house dirty and everything, and nothing's cooked. Then if something's cooked, all the food is eaten. I'm like, is anything left? Oh, no, I forgot to tell you. You should have got some on your way home. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? What the hell is y'all role? You know what I'm saying? I know I'm providing like a mother. But y'all, you know, nobody says what your role is. Now, that same Bible, if you go to it, you don't really want to go to it because what it says you're supposed to do, you're not willing to do. So I'm saying that to say that that's why I was like, okay, I see what's going on. These Black females are mad because the roles that they are really supposed to be providing, he's pulling the proverbial skirt tails up, you know, on the whole game, and they get mad, showing the whole kimono, you know, on the system of the game that they play, and they're just mad at him for that. So on one hand, that is what's going on. You know what I'm saying? There are things that are going on that the females aren't addressing. You know y'all sisters out there wilding out.
Now, of course, it's on both sides. That's the problem. The problem is the same thing where I'm bringing this up and even addressing it. There is a problem in the black community. You can't say all lives matter, and then they can say, aha, look at that, and you still listen to stupid-ass music. And I understand the beats are hard, but I'm over here. I'm not far from Chicago. This shit sounds raggedy. You know what I'm saying? It's not even the same as the old beats in like the 90s. The shit sounds, and the scene. I mean, you ain't even got to have no skills anymore. The beats aren't even that tight. And I since I listen to every station on the radio, I listen to a lot of talk radio, I listen to country, I listen to music in every language. I listen to every single station. So sometimes just to hear that beat, that African drum, or the closest I can get to it, I turn it on there like, this shit is ridiculous. There used to be where I can listen to it. Even if I didn't like the song, I sit there and nod my head just to hear that beat. But now the beat is off. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even a good beat. Like, ugh. If you going and it's the same old, I'm selling drugs, I'll take your gal from you. Then I'm going to hand her back to you because we don't really love gals like that. We only love the dudes we hang out with. Homies over hoes, right? That's and I do this as a game whenever I'm telling people this because they're like, oh, you pretty hard. And see, it's usually, once again, it's the black female that combats me on this. Not saying that the Negroes don't try too. They try to get up in arms about when I talk about, well, see, hip-hop is different. It ain't like the rap. See, hip-hop is, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. If the lyrics ain't uplifting, if you ain't talking about Paris, if you're not talking about X-Clan and stuff like that, those few who really 100% was coming on, conscious music. I mean, talking about Tupac. His stuff wasn't all conscious. He was talking about bitches, hoes, and selling drugs and shooting motherfuckers. So I fuck your bitch, get money, and all. I mean, it was the most decadent, stupid shit too. Just over a tight beat. And I liked him because before he got huge, I had his cassette. It was an all Black Panther album. That's the Tupac I remember. And I actually was one of the only black people in this country who knew who Tupac Amaru was. That's a real person. And he wasn't a rapper. He was an indigenous man. You know what I'm saying? Tupac Amaru, a warrior. And then, as I got to study, his Black Panther history, he coming from a very powerful family. But, a lot of things happen. You get up into the Hollywood and you start getting into that money and you get connected to some dumb shit. And once again, it don't matter how conscious you used to be. And people are like, well, he just was, no, he fell for the okie doke. He got seduced by that money and the power and signed with the wrong people. If you getting your dick sucked at no matter how much we jump on the bandwagon, oh, it's okay, that ain't rape or whatever. Once you get to that point, you're supposed to know a little better. Once you start making money, there's certain things your ass ain't supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? That white boy also, Roethlisberger, whoever, because I really don't watch football, who had his dick out at a casino or whatever, his ass supposed to be in jail too. You know what I'm saying? Certain shit your ass, ain't supposed to do. Broke motherfuckers, we could do dumb shit for a second. You know what I'm saying? You might get all, crazy at the monastery back in the day as children and stick your dick out. I did some crazy stuff at the club, And I was a cool, nice, nerdy guy. But once I learned that nerdy ain't gonna get you no gals, hey, come out and dance. So you just pull them by the arm. I'm like, damn, she really came out. I did some crazy stuff, but I left, for me, just the type of man I am, and even back then, I left it at the club. I didn't want your number. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do our Babylon gig in Babylon. I'm going back to heaven. When I go home, you ain't coming home with me. I'm not sneaking in the house and all that. I'm not coming to see you no more. We can kick it at this club. Whatever we do in this club, stays at the club. That's Vegas to me. But yo, check it. Going back to what I'm talking about. Listen to what I'm saying. It's dumb shit. It's just shit that was going on while we were young. So we reminisce when we hear those songs, and we act like it was something good, and it wasn't. And I need to talk about my parents' generation. That music wasn't pure either. I was just listening to a song yesterday, and even as a child, after listening to it so much, it was "Let's Just Kiss and Say Goodbye." That shit, you know what I'm saying? Doo, doo, doo. I mean, it sounds like it's a serious song, but then I got to listen. This was yesterday. I'm 43 years old, and I said, "This is another one." Bullshit song. But it's because it's over a beat, because it sounds good. And then when you hear your parents tell us, y'all know about this is real stories. Yeah, it's dumb shit. It's the same old adulterous bullshit. It's nothing about uplifting family. He telling this woman goodbye, she crying and stuff. He's saying, I got obligations over here, which means I got a family. He said, you got a family. Get your ass back to your family. And it's presented in a way where they can probably say, well, he just wanted to do the right thing. No, he found another trick to mess with. He already hit it as many times as he wanted to, and he's sending her ass back home to her husband. And she crying about that because she thought it was going to be all good. She thought he was going to get rid of his family and kick it with her. The same old dumb shit, just on a different beat. They can sing better back then. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I got to stop saying that. It's just you had to sing back then. The video game wasn't that tight yet. So you had to sing. It's like acting. You know what I'm saying? We had a radio show and there was no TV yet. You had to really, make the audience feel like they, the War of the Worlds was going on. It's not about things were better then. It just was just enough for that time period. That's what I'm trying to say. The things that are going on now and the dumbass music that black people are allowing. I'm talking about even if you don't listen to it. If you see a movie come out, I'm going to bring up the so-called Jews again, the people who call themselves Jews and they're not. But they have a system that your ass need to study. They have an anti-defamation league. They got a committee set up of gangsters to where Michael Jackson tried it. He had a song with the word kike in it. I know a lot of y'all don't know that's the nigger term for the so-called Jews. And a lot of you black, so I gotta see, once again, this can't just be let me kick Tommy in the ass. I'm kicking all y'all in the ass right now. You fucking it up for me too. As a black man, as a true king, I gotta kick you in the ass. That doesn't mean I've never done anything wrong. There's nobody who say, nigga, I know you you did me wrong. I try one thing about me, I try my best, 110%. If I've done anything to you to disrespect you, anybody who knows me, I'm going to live the rest of my life to try to make it up to you. Because that's not the type of person that I am. If I ever had an argument with you, now if I did, that means I really don't like it. We battling, and that means you really messed up across that line. You either talk negative about my parents, my family, my children, or when I was married, my wife. And there's a couple people, and if you ever went up in somebody was married to you, I still to this day, even though I might smile, we shake hands, say, hey, what's up, bro? You still got to ask what's coming, and you know who you are. And everybody who knows me knows that's how I am. I don't play around like that. I am a real man, period. That means as a real man, I don't give a shit that I grew up with some damn music. I don't give a shit that my parents grew up with some damn music. If the shit is against the black family, it's got to fucking go. You hear me? Tupac. And I'm talking about So Much Pain. The Planet Pain? My pain share with me. Doom, doom, doom. Above the Rim soundtrack. I'm talking about we got some tight ass shit. I just saw some clips online of the Lady of Rage and everybody came together and all that type of stuff. And then all this stuff is cool. And at the same time, there's the thing that you don't want to hear that hurts your ears. It ain't shit. I said it. At the same time, it really ain't shit. I like seeing it because I grew up with them. You know what I'm saying? It was nice to see. I always I was like, whatever happened to Boss? I'm gonna wonder how she do it. I was just thinking about that. I didn't know that show was about to come out. I didn't know that episode. And whoever they were doing the awards for, the paying homage to, I think it was Missy Elliott, I believe. But I was just wondering, man, how's she doing? I'm just curious, what's she doing? Is she producing or something now, or she just, left it all alone or whatever? Because I have this saying, fell off like Boss. Not to talk bad about her. It was like she came out hard and disappeared. That's what I was talking about. And even I used to play the CD back when I was at St. Louis U and stuff, and it was like, you hear these little messages come on the album. Yeah, girl, you talking about you so hard. I know you, girl. I think it was a mom or something. You went to, I didn't raise you that way. You went to Catholic school and girls' school and all this type of stuff. I like that, you know what I'm saying? Because she came out hard. And even on the field. I mean, but it's still bullshit. See, as an adult, if you can't say that, going back to what I started off this rant about, if as a European, you just can't listen to a black man talk about what y'all call slavery, what I call captured Africans. If you can't hear, a white man just recently, just this last week, didn't want to hear the First Lady, Michelle Obama, saying that the White House was built by black hands. I ain't gonna say slaves. That's the meaning. This fool is just like the Black Lives Matter thing. It burned his ears so bad, but it was well fed. I mean, you know how stupid that is. Now, as black people should understand, though, he don't give a shit how stupid it sounds. It made him feel uncomfortable. He already gets paid just like a Tommy Sotomayor. It's really not much different. He gets paid to make people, white people who affiliate themselves with his rhetoric, makes them feel good. That's his job, to talk about Obama, to talk about Hillary Clinton, to talk about Bill Clinton, and the Democrats, and then once it was a black guy, you know what I'm saying, he has had even more. Oh, this idiot in the White House, idiot in the White House, and people say, yeah, because he's saying things that white people really want to say. That's why Donald Trump, when people always say, oh, he can't win, of course he can if they want to win. Whoever puts people up to be president, if they want to win, he will fucking win, period. Obama, once again, I know a lot of y'all don't get out. Here I go again. See, you don't want me to say certain things, but I call it a spade on both sides of the water, white and black, to my European brothers and my African brothers and my African and American brothers and my indigenous brothers. My brothers coming from the Arab lands, I got Arab friends and partners that I can go to right now and say, man, you got $3,000 I can use, and they'll give it to me. I know partners from Jordan. I know partners from Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? I got peeps, man. I got people from all around the planet. And every single one I know who knows me, they know I'm always, go a cop car with the lights on. And people who know me, they know I'm the type that, what's up, man? Because see, now I'm at the gym, but I didn't want to go in the gym. But we're about to see what's about to go down. I'm standing in the parking lot. Let me go back over. I'm in front of Aldi's. Let me go back in front of Anytime Fitness so I can leave. Because they'll hit you with, it happened to me before, they'll hit you with where you're in a closed lot. Closed lot means you're in a spot where, the place is closed, even though there's lights and everything, and the place you're going is right next door. Let me walk my ass at least right over in front of the Anytime Fitness spot. Once again, that's how I go. But you feel uncomfortable talking about certain things. So you get a person like Trump that's talking about immigration. See, there's the tag word again, really talking about non-whites coming to the country. Because he's not talking about Russians immigrating, right? He's not talking about Polish people immigrating. He's not talking about that, is he? He's talking about non-white people coming into the country. White folks can care less if they're coming in legally. See, that's the game. That's the game that gets played on all y'all. See, it's like, well, no, I want to be documented. No, you don't. Let's stop playing. See, let me bring out some other things that you don't want to really talk about.
You see, this nation was built on free labor of Africans. Period. The government was set up not because there was some white guys that came here and just automatically, because they were so intelligent, came up with a government that they've never seen in their lives. We're going to have checks and balances. We're going to have 3 branches of government and all that type of stuff. They got it from the indigenous people here. I believe it was set up straight from the Iroquois Nation way of they set up their government. They were like, damn, this makes sense. Because they never seen it before. They're coming from a country where they didn't have that. So don't think they just came over here and just set up a system of democracy, which actually is a representative republic that you live in. I know you don't know that, but, you know, they came up and just set up this representative republic. The thing is, same thing with the black people. You don't want me to talk about how dumb the music is. Now, that's what I was going to before the cop came by and had his light on and some little flashlight thing, which is cool. I understand they got to check this whole area, but they probably got a car. Just keeping it real. I saw a white dude go into his car. He never drove off, so that means he got in his car. And there's a black guy just standing around. He looked like he's waiting on somebody. He's probably trying to break into the gym and all that shit. He's not ready to go in, motherfucker. Shit, I got to go through. I'm 6'4", 270 pounds. I get it. Tall, dark, and handsome. You know what I'm saying? But, fucking throwing me off, man. I got a point right here. The thing is, they have an anti-defamation league whose job it is to, whenever somebody puts out a video, whenever somebody puts out something on paper, you know what I'm saying? Whenever somebody puts out anything that is not uplifting the Jewish community, they're going to come and whoop your ass legally, you know what I'm saying? So what does that mean? I just told you earlier, Michael Jackson tried it. The word kike is like the word nigga. And what I was going to get into was black folks, I'm from the hood, I'm from the ghetto. The ghetto was a derogatory term that Jews don't even want anymore. They were put in the ghetto. They're not proud of that shit. Now, the only place you're going to see that term if you go to their Holocaust Museum or something like that, and then you can read about the ghettos. Black folks don't do their research and understand that this is somebody else's trash. You got to stop taking other people's trash. And like even with the N-word that I started back using because there's just so many of them who still exist, that's somebody else's trash, somebody else's caricature about you. No, it's a term of endearment. Shut your dumb ass up. You heard somebody else say that. You didn't come up with that. I'm tired of black folks saying that dumb shit. You've been programmed to say that. I ain't been programmed to say that. Okay, what's the term of endearment then? What other time have you ever said term of endearment besides nigga? Well, just show me. If I said Pookie Wookums, what is that? Oh, that's some dumb shit. What? Oh, you call your person, the person with your boo. Yeah, I call my gal my boo. She called me her boo. I said, what's that called? They're not gonna say term of endearment. Oh, this is what we call each other, right? But nigga, you've heard somebody who's giving you what's that Negro's name? Oh, I can't think of his name. The Negro Dyson or something like that. Not the scientist, but the other dude that's always using the term nigga and stuff like that, like it's all cool. And I think everybody should say nigga. It make me feel good to say nigga. You know what I'm talking about. Cooning dude that's like so-called smart. You know what I'm saying? So-called black authority. But it gets out there. He just gets, like a lot of people get paid to speak on a lot of events having to do with black folks. But when you do that shit, you basically make yourself a summa cum. But they have something set up. Then I'm going to get into this gym. Then I'm going to go into some Sotomayor a little bit. They got a system set up to show you that they're men. I'm just keeping it real with you. This ain't me holding they nuts, jocking. See, I'm smart. Like I told you, I got friends that are Arab. Every single one, they have to understand my position before we can be friends. They got to understand I know
that we were captured first before Europeans for 700 years by the so-called Arabs, who were our brothers who stabbed us in the back. That was our, the philosophies that make up Christianity, Hebrew, what I'm trying to say, Judaism, and Islam is African tradition. What became later on as Islam, we saw them as our brothers. We were those Moors, which now people try to tell you, there was a couple of African slaves, Berbers, that were with the Arab Moors, but, they didn't have any knowledge or anything. No, that was us building. There was nothing coming from the so-called Middle East. That's why Dr. Clark tried to tell you, how come everybody that supposedly had the knowledge came into Africa to build all these pyramids and temples? And if you go even further up the Nile, you will see is deeper in the middle part of Africa, going to the southern part of Africa, where you're going to see the oldest pyramids and temples. How come they left their homelands to come and create civilization? They didn't do it in Europe. The first university in Europe is built by black men. So this is still connected to why are they mad? Because a black woman says, I love looking out this window of this White House and seeing my black children playing in the grass when she should have said black men and women built it. But, the word slave, got to come out. It's erroneous. We're not slaves, and I'm not a descendant of slaves, I'm a descendant of captured Africans. You know what I'm saying? And they got the masons, the ones that knew how to cut stone and knew how to forge metals. Those are the ones that came, not just people, they got us because we can stand in the sun. Stop repeating dumb shit you heard somebody tell you and pick up a book and really read. They went and got the masons. I'm talking about the so-called secret society, even though secret societies were taken. Those were those black folks you can see up in New York whose bodies were dug up when they started building a lot of those skyscrapers. You can see they had these symbols and stuff, these emblems around their neck, around these necklaces, showing these different secret societies that they were coming from. They might be a society of masons, brick masons, societies of blacksmiths, of iron forgers and stuff like that. Brass makers. A secret society of cultivators, horticulturalists and things like that, who they kept certain secrets within their people because that's just what their people did. The people who built pyramids, that was a secret society of masons who knew how to cut stones, who knew how to measure, who knew how to plumb a straight line and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But the people who studied those type of things basically had a system by which they can keep them. So were other people who were real men and real women, when somebody comes and attacks your community, you're supposed to have some type of system to deal with that. So the so-called Jews have anti-defamation, where Michael Jackson put the word kike in a song, and they made him pull every single record off the shelf. Ice Cube was the second person I knew who did it. Like in, I think Michael Jackson, it was the black and white song, where he's like, hate me, fake me, rape me, or something like that. And then he said, psych me, type me. And that's all he said. That was enough. They said, you're going to pull all that shit off. More than 150,000 CDs off the damn shelf immediately. You know what I'm saying? And there would have been more up there on the shelf, but right when they caught it, it was like, nope, snatch that shit off. Well, it's just, it's an artistic, no, nigga, take that shit off. We don't give a fuck about all this nigga shit that we allow and we perpetuate. Why do I say perpetuate? Because I know artists personally who told me that that's what they want in the songs. And I went to like, I'm talking about even authors, people that's not even so-called hood writers. They were told they need to put the word nigger and bitch in the stories to make it more believable, so black women would buy it. Going back to this conversation once again, through free will, our women got to be smarter. You know what I'm saying? Our women are calling the men lame who are the most intelligent aspects of our community. So when a Tommy Sotomayor gets on them, he's right. Now, I'm not agreeing with him getting paid by looking at the worst of us. The problem is, though, what are y'all black women doing? And of course, I'm going to talk about the black men too, but as a woman, you supposed to be standing up when number one is y'all with the $1 billion hair industry paying people outside of our community who can't. I'm talking about, man, I got Korean partners too. I ain't gonna say all. I got Korean peeps. And we are very straight up about this conversation. And you know what? All this talk where people are like, oh, you shouldn't be talking about that. Every single person I'm talking about, the Arab, the Korean, the European, they cool with me talking about it. It's usually the black folks. Man, I was at I know I forgot to say this when I was walking by the first cop. It was a black girl who started crying. The white girl asked me, well, Lorenzo, what do you think about dating interracially? And I was like, well, you know, for me, and I think I told you my answer. That's why I got cut off. I told you my answer. And she was like sort of mad. She was like, whoa, I didn't think you would think like that. Because, you know, I'm pretty cool. I'm cool with everybody and stuff. I'm still black power. But I can still be cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I can still interact with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I might even flirt with all women. But I'm only going to bed with one, you know, because this is enough. There's black women in Africa, Asia, all around. I just want to know if you know that you black and you have some type of consciousness about it. Like I love black women from India, but you got to know, and you just can't be from there. You got to know your Dravidian culture. You got to know that, yeah, we ancient black, you know, so you got to know your history. You know what I'm saying? I love being with African women, but just not any African woman. You got to know your connection. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with black women from here. I try to only deal with black women who, yeah, you know what we do. I'm like, no, what you mean what we do? I got to sit back and listen then. What do you think we do? You know how we are. We got to eat. We got to eat this. We got to eat what? I mean, what are you talking about? We got to believe what? We got to dance like what? What are you talking about? Because it'll be something stupid and dumb that we adhere to, and we call that black culture. I'm like, no, that's what you've been programmed to think. But going back to what I was talking about. So I was talking to a group of white folks about this, and I saw it was a black female there. We cool now. We still cool today, but you know what I'm talking about. Man, I got to talking. She looked like she wanted to fight me while I was talking to them. So I was like, well, you know, I was breaking down the history of how we were done in this country and how me as a conscious black man, I can't, you know, I have to constantly show my black counterpart that I got them. You know what I'm saying? That was something I said. And I let them all know. I said, back when I was younger, I didn't see a problem with it. You know, I was interacting with them. I didn't have sex with anybody right at that time. You know what I'm saying? But I was trying to go to the movies with, you know, if they wanted to ask me out, and I think I kissed 2 white chicks, you know, when I was younger and stuff like that. That was, you know, for me, that was enough. You know, we were still cool. They were my friends. It's just I wasn't into nobody. I wasn't dating anybody. You know, I was a nerd. You know what I'm saying? I just like to talk and write letters and all that type of stuff. But the white girl looked a little disappointed, like, oh man. And then, but the black girl, as I was breaking down the history, there was something inside of her that felt embarrassed, and she started getting angry at me. She was like, oh no. And she was like, well, no, I want y'all to know we all don't believe this. I just want y'all to know that he's by himself. And they were looking at her like she was crazy, and I'm looking at her like she was crazy. I was like, what the fuck? Just sit back and chill. You know, are you really listening to what I'm saying? There was no hate coming out of my mind, out of my mouth. I was breaking down the stuff, and the white guys, they knew everything I was talking about. They were like, yeah. They was nodding like, yep. And the white girls are, okay, I see what you're saying. But because I was speaking in a way not like a coon and kissing ass, the black female, I felt sort of, I was like, I wasn't hurt, but I was disappointed because she was sort of cute or whatever. And to this day, she's sort of like a model sister, you know what I'm saying? I like her because she was tall and everything. Just beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put her out there, but she had a name of a woman in my family. You know what I'm saying? So I was already attracted to her. But man, she started first getting mad, like she wanted to fight me, like she wanted to shut me up from talking. And I was like, "Excuse me, sister, they asked me." I was like, "You just happened to walk over." She wasn't even around, but she walked over there when I was having a conversation with them, just to let them know. I want y'all to know we don't all think like that now. Now I'm thinking about the Tommy Sotomayor, you know what I'm saying, videos and stuff. She came up in a conversation with even hers. Got in that mouth, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? And she physically, after that, as I kept talking, she started crying. And she left. And the white folks was like, what's wrong with her? And now I had to explain. I said, that's what I'm talking about. She's a so-called slave. She is what happens when you do that to black folks for so many years. She came over here, and the reason why she was mad, and the reason why she's sad, she feels like you guys are going to look down on her because of what I was saying. She wants you guys' approval so much. And I was like, I said, I bet y'all don't have that problem with black folks. Y'all don't need our approval. You know what I'm saying? That damn much would just break your whole spirit up. It was like, nope. I said, because just like me, I'm not going to do y'all like that. We were having a nice conversation. And the guy was like, yeah, I know everything you're talking about. And the white girl, she was the one that was getting schooled. Because she was like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying now. Why you don't really do it. It's not because you don't like us and all this. It's just you have a connection to your black, counterpart. And I was like, that's right. The black woman, you know what I'm saying? That's where I come from. When I have children, it's going to be black women. They're going to grow up and be black women, and black men. There's an example I must show. I can't say the black woman is beautiful and then keep choosing everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And say crazy stuff like, well, a mixed child is way more beautiful than a regular black girl. That shows your slave matic. That's where slave comes out. That shows your slave-matic mind. But, yeah, and so I had to bring that up. So going back to Anti-Defamation League, why do I always talk about them? If black folks don't come up with something like that, you deserve to keep getting shot. I got to keep it real. Now, you shoot one of mine, I'm coming to get you. You better not suck with my son. I got a beautiful son. He reminds me of a Tamir Rice, and I have to try to train and let them know when you're outside, I know you're goofy and a nerd like I was or whatever, but while we out here, just like the cops that come by, they don't know what I'm about. They just see a big-ass lion that's not chained up. That's what black folks don't understand. When a cop comes up to you because you've allowed them to perpetuate this image about you. Now, I'm not saying we got to totally kiss ass and totally, we're supposed to be defiant. They're afraid, that's on them. But here's the problem, though. When they're afraid, your ass come up missing. Your ass come up dead. Your ass come up dragged behind the truck. Your ass gets strung up and burned alive. You need to have something by which, as men, you say, you know what, that dumbass music can't play on our radio waves anymore. Yeah, I grew up with a lot of that stupid shit. I like the beats and all that type of stuff, but if it's not uplifting the black community, the shit's got to go. And then you got to walk in them churches. The churches will do it last, because we do have to handle the decadent drug culture first. The raping and pillaging music first, so-called music first, which is really an indoctrination. It's a hypnotic trance over those beats to make you say dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Stupid shit. Now, here's where people get mad right now. That's our culture. Shut your dumb ass up. You don't know what culture is. The root word is cult. which is comes from where you get words like school, agriculture, and things like that. Escalapius. So, what cult do you belong to, though? Is the key. You know what I'm saying? Is it a type of culture where, like agriculture, you're allowing things to grow up straight and you pulling weeds away, or you just letting shit just grow so-called wild, which is could be natural, but in this term, wild, where you're not supposed to have weeds growing up around flowers and stuff. Makes no sense. It's gonna choke your flowers. That's what you got going on. You're not taking care of your civilization. You're not taking care of your culture. It's somebody else's program. So that dumb shit that's on the radio all across the country, that's going across the whole planet, when people see you, that's what they think. So when that cop slammed this black woman, I don't know what she did, I don't really care. Same thing with Sandra Bland. I don't give a damn what she did. You don't touch our women like that. Same thing with that cop went into that classroom, and as you really listen to all the white Americans and even dumb black folks who are just like that sister who started crying, who got to show that I'm on you guys' side. 'Cause I'm afraid, and I want you to guys know I'm not like this Negro making this recording. Once you see some shit like that, where a white dude, big ass white dude, slams the shit and chokes this child, and they say, well, you know, this is crazy up in these schools. No, shut the fuck up. Because if that was a little white girl, he'd be dead. I'm talking about the same cop. If that was some white dude's daughter or some white female's daughter, and she ain't got no husband too, because they got the same shit going on. No daddies in the household, no, that shit. You ain't fooling me. I know what's going on with people's houses. They got a lot of that same shit too. They got stepdaddies they don't like, and they got no daddies there. He got dissociative fuse and woke up one morning and kept on driving. It's just he gets a funny term. To explain his behavior. He's not a deadbeat. He has dissociative fugue. Go look that up. I had a lot of psychology classes, and when I sat out laughing in abnormal psych when I heard that shit. Dissociative fugue. No, we're gonna do a video about that. Don't let me get on. I'll go on a tangent and laugh about that for hours. Showing pictures. I don't recognize anybody in there. Go look that up and find out what a dissociative fugue is. White folks, they not deadbeats. They have a mental illness. It's not their fault. Black folks, you Negroes, are just deadbeat daddies. Losers. White guys, they might just have dissociative fugue. Look it up. Dissociative fugue. Fuge. Go see if you can find the videos we had to watch in class. I'm looking around the class like, is this a joke? Watch this guy. Do you recognize anybody in these pictures? No, I can't say I do. That's funny. All these black dudes ain't taking care of these children. They got dissociative fugue, man. It's something in the food. It's in the water or something. Post-traumatic war syndrome. Shell shock. Not that they deadbeat. They got a real mental illness. But yo, until black folks say, you know what? I used to say this shit is just entertainment. I got to really look at it again and say, nah, this bullshit. We don't need it. Even if it's not the music, because, you know, we were made to feel stupid when a black person come up and say it's the music, it's the way we eat, it's what's on TV, the images. We used to laugh at that Negro. Maybe, you know, he might be right, but even if he's not, let's at least try it. The health of our children are at least worth it enough for us to at least check it out. Let us cut this music out at least for a year and see what happens. Nobody can do that, though. Because GCI, after all the shooting, that's the radio station I was hearing in Chicago. I'm coming from East St. Louis myself. We got Magic 108, The Beat. were the two big ones. I forgot what it. I don't know what it is now. I'm sure one of them is still around. They even took off my WCBW. It was like a white Christian. I was into that. You know what I'm saying? They took that off, and that's what became the beat. You know what I'm saying? Bullshit. I'm like, man, we need two of these stations with the same. Dude, they used to play the same shit. And when I say the same shit, I mean I used to be able to go to the beat, the Magical 8, back and forth, and they'll be playing the exact same song at the same time. I'm like, I knew it. This shit is rigged. There's no way that can happen. You know what I'm saying? Y'all playing the exact same song at the same time? Come on, man. You only need one of those stations there. You know, take off something that was like healing and like very relaxing, you know. And then I'm not into the so-called black gospel where you got to scream and holler and you can't hear people saying and the cymbals are too loud and shit. It was a nice, more relaxed gospel. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my biggest thing I want to say. Tommy Sotomayor, and I know this is an hour and 40 minutes later, but hey, this is all shit. This is my damn show. You cannot just point to one person. A Tommy Sotomayor, is he a coon, a sellout? Looks like it. Let me just keep it real. And from what I saw, I saw a video today where a guy called him out on it. Most of his videos are about the black female not being shit. And not just the black female, the dark-skinned black female. You can see him with videos he made himself saying, if you get with, he said, black men, stay away, run from the dark-skinned black female. He even jokes about that. That's how you know that his slave-matic mind is deeply ingrained. What I call it a Negro chip. His Negro chip is highly active. We all have them, you know, born here in the Matrix. Those of us who are so-called conscious, we can turn it off. And we can turn it back on when need be. You know what I'm saying? If you have to deal with a so-called nigga, you can turn it back on, you know, because sometimes the only language they speak is nigga. Yeah, no, niggish. They speak niggish. And every now and then you got to turn it back on to deal with that situation in that nigga moment. And then you go back to being conscious and stuff like that. But I saw enough evidence that, yes, he gets paid for throwing black women under the bus. I've seen with my own eyes him talking about, hey, well, you know, you light-skinned girls, you know, y'all can't fight. Y'all better stop fighting them dark-skinned girls. Y'all not going to win, because what he's saying is, now here's the truth in it. Darker skin is deeper melanin and could have a little bit more testosterone than the more light-skinned you are, be even a male. That's why you don't see a lot of light-skinned males stronger than dark-skinned males. But it doesn't happen all the time, of course. You know what I'm saying? The fastest on the planet, the high jumping and all that, it's going to be the LeBron James brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find, like, now, every now and then you're going to get that, what's that dude, the monkey hops. It looked like he's, I don't like using the term mulatto because I'm good with language. I know it has something to do with a mule. So stop using those terms. You like a person, you know, so you really want to be considerate. Don't use the term mulatto. That has something to do with a mule. That's what white folks were calling the children of the black women they raped. Mulattoes. But I can't think of that guy's name, but I saw him dunk on a couple of people. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I think he got bad knees now because he gets the craziest dunk. He's like a guy who looked like he might have a white parent or something like that. I just don't know his name. I don't really watch sports anymore, but I like watching highlights. Somebody getting dunked on. He got some crazy dunks on people. I just can't think of his name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He got a good vertical. He likes coming off 2 feet. And he'll go right up on you and put his knee in your face and dunk on you. You know what I'm saying? But but he's playing on something like that. So he's not using the scientific knowledge that I'm using
talking about the amount of testosterone, he's basically calling them monkeys. You know what I'm saying? Hair-hatted hooligans, but then if they're light-skinned and appealing to his eye, you can see he changes his tone, and that's unacceptable. Also, the white folks will be snow bunnies or something like that. I think he calls them snow bunnies. And the guys who mess with dark-skinned women are Madden, which I used to, when I first started listening to him, I was agreeing because I got a problem with pants-sagging black male Negroes who just smoke weed and play video games all day. I got a very big problem about that. Nothing wrong with video games. Nothing wrong with the weed thing if you are grown and you have your own business and you don't get behind a car and you live somewhere where you can do it legally. You know what I'm saying? But that's not usually the case. You know what I'm saying? There are people that's just addicted to it and they got to smoke all day long. Just, you know, so that's what they are on. But he also, in this video, during the time that I saw him, like I told you, he was going to do something with Jehudi Ma'at Ra and stuff like that. He seemed sort of conscious. He was talking about the black woman, uplifting the black woman on a couple of videos, the black family. He just was saying, you know, I highlight the worst, you know what I'm saying, so we can get better, that type of thing. He was throwing out some type of videos. Then he actually, because the guy who was busting him out today that I saw was showing some videos where he was saying, if you were a white woman, you can't tell me about what the black woman's not doing. And I was like, okay, that sounds opposite of what he sounds like now. And he even said himself, and you can see the video where he said, if you ever see me with a white woman, I'm going to stop making these videos. And he said that. I'm going to stop making these videos about black women because it no longer matters. Because once I basically say there's nothing else left for me but a white woman, I'm not going to make any more of these videos. Then he's hugged up with this chick from Russia, which, you know, if that's what you do, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them languages that I like to study, Russian, things like that. You know, maybe he was getting into the linguistics of it. Probably not. But he was hugged up, and I was there during this period where I might every now and then go and click on his channel, and I saw him hugged up, and I remember, like this guy documented, I might click on every now and then, and she'd be in the background at first. Then she was like the maid or something. Then he was his cook. She was a nutritionist there to help him eat better. So I was like, okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Then he was kissing her. Then she just came and sat in his lap. And the video was sort of entitled, all these dark-skinned black women hating on me because now I'm happy with somebody that's not them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And it was just so much hate. I was like, oh, okay. And he was looking, you know, like a coon. And he just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper. But this guy who put this video out, who I saw today, he showed the amount of hits he was getting. The hits went from 40,000 for the month to like it's like bugs flying around out there around my mouth, to like 200 and something thousand around this period. So once again, he gets hits because of controversy. But once again, I got to quote Jehudi Ma'at Ra, it has to do with the people that he's so-called throwing up under the bus, i.e. the black woman. They're the ones who are fueling all those hits. In their haste to try to put him in check, I'll whip your ass. Oh, your mama must not be shit. I mean, saying as him being vile against them, you see their hatred and their so-called righteousness in full blast. Man, they saying stuff about his mama, his grandmama, his daughters. His daughter's real young, like mine. My daughter's 9 years old. They going hard, foul. And once again, you got played, black woman. And the ones I'm talking about. If you posting on his line, I'm not talking about you making a video and
saying, okay, this dude's a coon. He's talking about this. If you getting on his channel trying to talk to him, to call him out, to spit venom, I mean, you might do it once. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say you never should do that. Because at some point you say, hey, man, you out here living foul. Number one, let your men do that. That's number one. But even the guys, they're not being men. They making little videos, cartoons, and stuff. So I'm like, oh, man. Oh, at one point, I'm like, okay, the men are going to handle this situation. But I'm watching it. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, they just trying to get hit. They're making videos to get other people to watch. But they're using, not just keeping it real, they're using his name to get fucking hits. So I'm like, oh man, so who's really the fucking victim here? Everybody's playing games. Like even this thing, I'm gonna use his name because he's the center thing that I'm gonna talk about. But as you see, I'm talking about a whole lot more. It's not about look at this coon, look at this coon, look at this coon. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes here. What has called, he's a dark-skinned brother. Apparently, I guess he did some jail time because his baby mama said he was behind him child support or something. He was put in jail. And some stuff. I don't know. I ain't followed that deep. So that's probably where a lot of his venom came from. He's one guy, I think he was going to be a comedian or something, and then he had a radio show, and, he found his niche. His niche was talking about dark-skinned black women. And in this country, in the very racist, and I'm not going to say this is country, this is on this planet, because we can go to South America and you're going to see the same thing. They still have commercials where people are in so-called blackface in South America. And when I say South America, I'm talking about not that fucking far from me. I'm talking about you hit Mexico, you're going to see that. You hit Puerto Rico, you hit Dominican Republic, got it bad with that. Oh, we're not sellouts. And I got a lot of Dominican friends, you know what I'm saying? But I hang around people, though, that, like, once again, you got to be conscious of. It ain't just like fact you Puerto Rican and Dominican. I hang around people who they understand they black. Not, we're actually Taino, African, and European, straight from Spain. So we don't want to discount all those other parts of us, just like the, Tiger Woods type of thing. I'm Caucasian. Now, I get it, though. Tiger Woods' mama's Asian, so I get that. You know what I'm saying? He's black Asian, period. He's whatever part of Asia she's coming from, and black. But when you start French and German, you start hitting all of that, you're pretty silly. You sound pretty silly all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully, he can say that. But that Caucasian type, no, dog, you black Asian, period. Let's stop playing. But this dude has been hurt not only by black women, he's been hurt by this racist system that makes black ugly. That's really, if we just keep it real. The hatred, and I'm bringing this video out again, I just didn't bring it up in the beginning, because now he really showed his ass, talking about Tommy Sotomayor, and whatever his other name is, Hampton or Harris or whatever. There was a car accident. Now this is the biggest part. I'm gonna go in this gym because I forgot I didn't drive up here, so I'm up here getting tired. I could sit out and walk an hour back to the crib. Y'all got me up here talking. What time is it? 2:14 in the morning. It's all good. I'm gonna go in and still work out. That's what I do. And I'm gonna walk my ass back. But man, he spit so much venom at this sister. Now I don't know what happened before he started recording, but he was talking on his phone recording because he's gonna put it online. But the sister, from what I can tell, was just giving. You're supposed to exchange information. She had a piece of paper. She was like saying, "Here." She didn't do it. she wasn't sounding crazy about it. He was like, "No, don't talk to me. No, you ain't got to talk to me." And she was like, "Well, I'm just." It sounded. You could see by the look on her face. I couldn't hardly see what she was saying, but it looked like she was saying, "I'm just giving you this paperwork. You know, this is staying this paperwork. Now, get back over there. You ain't got to talk to me, bitch." And he was calling her bitch, whore. So she was walking away at first. Then, of course, here's the slave matic stuff. He called her a black bitch. You black bitch, black bitch. She turned around and she was like, "Oh, well, I'll be the last one you ever see." You know, she's standing her own. Now she has that right. You called that woman out of her name. She was walking away. And she was trying to hand you a piece of paper. She didn't come up talking crazy. Now, once again, I don't know if she was doing that at first, but even if she was, if you really don't have a hatred for the black woman, that shit wouldn't have come out. His true colors showed. I'm just keeping it real. It's very obvious. You know, it's not me giving an opinion. The shit is pretty obvious. If it wasn't obvious to you before, which it should have been, he got a problem with dark skin with himself. Because he's dark. He's not a light-skinned dude. He's a dark guy himself. Other women, his counterparts, what he does. I was gonna make this sound seamless, but I had to pull out another phone. I used up all my space on the other phone. So she wasn't even talking crazy to him at all. He called her black bitch, stupid bitch, ugly bitch. I don't even like you black bitches. I don't even fuck with y'all black bitches. All that type of stuff. It was so much racist, bigoted, stupid shit coming from a dark-skinned black male in America. Ridiculous. My car, now here we go again, nigga shit. My truck costs more than your whole house, black bitch, you broke bitch, and all that type of shit. All this ridiculous shit that a man who really, if you really got it going on, you really got money, would never say that shit. Number one, when you got money, for real, there's no need to be, number one, if she hit you and it's easy to see, there's nothing you should be hollering at. Now, it'd be different. Your children in the car, you see she was drinking or texting or something. It can throw you a little bit because now you pissed. You know what I'm saying? But she, a black female, now it ain't like a car full of guys either trying to flip it on you like you caused the accident. It wasn't no situation like that. It was obvious from what I could tell that, well, I don't know. It ain't that. I mean, it looked like she was hit his car from behind, I think. And, his car scraped on the side of something, you know, after he got hit or whatever. And the way he was parked, where she was parked, she was behind them. That's I would imagine going to be on her. So when the cops come, you take your pictures and everything, and you document the situation. The cops are only there to make sure you guys, they ain't coming to investigate shit. They want to make sure you got insurance, she got insurance, and y'all exchange information. That's what she looked like she was doing. That's it. There's nothing to be hollering. There's nothing to be talking crazy about and all that type of shit, unless your ass is guilty and you're trying to cover it up. But when you got money and your shit is insured, you let the insurance handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? It might throw you off. You might miss a meeting or something. Might be late. Other than that, shut your punk ass up and deal with the situation like a man. Period. Oh, sister, you all right? See, that's what a black man would be. That's why sister, you all right? Yeah, it's messed up now. You know you did that right now. You ain't about to play sick or nothing like your neck hurts or nothing, right? You know what I mean? That's how I'll be. You know what I'm saying? I want to assess the situation. Okay, what's going on? And if it did look like that, just keep quiet, start recording. And you can still record and talk like I'm recording in this phone right now, like he was doing. But he talking all crazy. Number one, something inside you're supposed to be like, I'm supposed to be recording and documenting facts, not talking about how I don't like black women. You know what I'm saying? That's dumb. Look at this bitch. You gonna take that to court? What the fuck are you really documenting? You know what I'm saying? So that showed the silliness of him. So no, we're not dealing with a black man. We're dealing with a boy who was hurt. He thinks by black women, but it's a system that got both of them. So the same females whose videos he's putting up doing so-called ratchet, stupid shit, he's got his own now. You know what I'm saying? And the problem, though, even people who, like myself, not really down with that shit, I'm not gonna be sitting there and scrolling. Them damn scrolls be going up so fast. Like his thing popped up because I'm subscribed to him, which I'm gonna unsubscribe. He's on live, so I check it out. I'm not gonna sit there and reading all that shit. These guys got so many followers. They got 900 people on at a time. I'm not gonna sit there trying to read all that shit going up real fast. It's a waste of my fucking time. And they ain't talking about shit. You know what I'm saying? I looked at it just so I can check it out and see what he's about, but it ain't no shit. But yeah, once again though, I'm about to go in here and work out. That's my little rant today. I might do some more recording on the way back because I might have to document some cops following me. They wonder why I'm doing this parking lot all this time. So hopefully they see me. I got a key to get in. The door let me in. I put my badge up to the door. It's unlocked. Now I'm in the gym. Everybody gone. But yo, let me go and get this workout on. Peace.